so stay tuned and check it out. I started off by ripping some 3/4 inch plywood to width, which was 8 inches. And don't worry about writing down the dimensions. I'll have all the dimensions as well as all the items that I used for this build listed on my website. Just click on the link in the description box below. And with the plywood ripped to width, I could set up a stop block and cut all 4 sides to length. With the 4 sides cut to length, I started to assemble them using glue and brad nails. Notice how on one end of the piece it's on the inside of the other piece, and on the opposite side it overlaps the side piece on the other side. Since all 4 sides are cut to the same length, this arrangement will make for a square box. Also, notice how I didn't put any brad nails near the center of the sides. I'll show you why a little later. With the sides put together, I took a measurement for the top and the bottom of this box and cut 2 of those out at the table saw. Before I attached these to the rest of the box, I marked the center of each piece. For the next step, I needed the 2 cups for the boxes, so I cut 2 pieces off the length of 4-inch PVC pipe at the miter saw. If you don't feel comfortable cutting this at the miter saw, a hacksaw will work just as well. This is 4-inch PVC, and PVC pipe is measured by the inside diameter, and I wanted the outside diameter. With this dimension, I set my compass and drew a circle off the center point of each lid. Then I lined up the cup and traced the inside. I suppose I could have started with the inside diameter and gone through all the steps backwards, but this is just how I chose to do it. With the cup traced onto each lid, I attached both lids to the sides I'd previously assembled using glue and brad nails once again. Now at this point you may be wondering why I just made an enclosed box instead of 2 open boxes. And this is just the method that I like to use when I'm creating anything with a lid, or in this case, something that I need 2 of in a mirrored fashion. This method not only ensures that both pieces will match up perfectly together, but it also ensures that the grain will flow perfectly as well, if that's important. Next, I measured and set my adjustable square so that it would leave a saw blade width gap directly in the center of the box. That's a mouthful. Saw blade width gap. With that marked, I could use it to adjust my table saw fence and begin to cut. Circling back on a previous comment, this is why I didn't put any brad nails near the center of the sides. This way I wouldn't cut into them or hit them with the saw blade. Even though I marked out the center of the box, it's important to keep the same side of the box along the fence for every cut. And just like that, I have perfectly matching washer toss box halves. Next, I drilled 4 holes on the center of the cup wall thickness that I traced earlier, and then countersunk each hole on the back side. Then I placed tape over each hole on the countersunk side. Next, I taped off the surrounding area of the cup to make cleanup a little bit easier later. I used West Systems epoxy resin to epoxy each cup to the box and placed weight on it until it cured. With the epoxy cured, I followed the same holes from the underside and drilled into the PVC cup, and then I drove in some small screws. This is just a belt and suspenders kind of thing for the cup. I wanted a bit of a soft surface inside each box, so I found some old speaker box carpet and began cutting that to size. I started with it oversized to begin with and then trimmed it down later. To cut the circle for the cup, I found the center and then eyeballed the center using some extra PVC. Then I cut right around the PVC with the utility knife. And then I used the circle cut off and trimmed around the edge just a little bit and used that for the inside of the cup. To glue the carpet to the inside of the box, I just used some 3M spray adhesive and just took my time lining everything up. And the circle that I cut for the inside of the cup actually lined up really well. For the rest of the carpet, I just started at the center and worked my way out to the edges, knowing that it was oversized and it could be trimmed later. I used my utility knife with the blade retracted and pressed down all the inside corners really well. Then I came back and trimmed away the excess carpet. And to be honest, it turned out a lot better than I was expecting. Next, I attached 2 latches to the boxes so I could join them together. I gave the old washers a fresh coat of black spray paint and let them dry while I applied a few coats of teak oil finish to the 2 box halves. With the finish cured, the final step was to attach some leather handles for easy carrying. And to wrap this up, let's go over the rules while I fail miserably to make it in the cup for the opening shot of this video. Or maybe I should just say this is how I play washer toss. So there are 2 teams of 2 and your partner stands across from you at the other box. Boxes are approximately 20 feet apart, and opponents standing at one box have 3 washers each, and they alternate throwing their washers at the other box. A washer in the box is worth 1 point, and a washer in the cup is worth 3 points. But a washer balancing on the top edge of the box is an automatic win for that team. The first team to 21 points without going over wins. If your team goes over though, you have to go back to 13 points. And the way that I typically play is by point cancellation as well. So if I score 3 points and you score 2 points in one round, your points cancel out my score and bring my total score down to 1 point for the round. Like I said, these probably aren't the official rules, but it's just how I like to play. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, it'd be awesome if you could hit that like button. And while you're there, also consider hitting that subscribe button as well. That way you're notified every time I release a new video. Hopefully you can go out this weekend and make a set of these boxes for yourself and start having some fun. And until next time, thanks for watching.